Donald Trump is already out. It didn't take him long. Didn't take him long to respond to any of this. He's already out, ladies and gentlemen, with his view of what the president's going to say. I want to share this with you as we wait on Mr. Biden.
Joe Biden is on the run from his record and lying like crazy to try and escape accountability for the horrific devastation he and his party have created. All the while, they continue the very policies that are causing this horror show to go. We cannot take it any longer as a country. Joe Biden's sad excuse for a State of the Union address aside, here are the facts. When I left office, we gave Joe Biden the most secure border in U.S. history. We gave him remain in Mexico, very tough to get, but I got it. Safe third agreements, the asylum ban, Title 42, 571 miles of border wall, rapid deportations, and much more. We had the safest border in the history of our country. As soon as he got in, Crooked Joe and his radical left lunatics deliberately dismantled each and every one of those policies that were so good, that gave us this best border. According to Tom Homan, according to Brandon Judd, the top people, they said it was the single best border we've ever had in recorded history. What's happened now is a horror show. The country, our country, is being laughed at all over the world. Over the past 3 years, Biden has actively aided and abetted the importation of millions and millions of illegal alien migrants and resettled them into your communities. At any time during the past 3 years, Crooked Joe Biden, and he is crooked as you can be and the most incompetent president we've ever had, could have called off the invasion. But to this day, he is keeping the hordes of illegal migrants and illegal aliens pouring into the country. By the time his term is up, we can have close to 20 million people in our country. And we have no idea from where they come. We have no idea who they are. They have no identification. Many come from mental institutions. Many come from prisons. They're terrorists. We have a calamity the likes of which we've never seen before. The very first bill Joe Biden sent to Congress was a plan to turn illegal aliens into voting citizens. That's just what we need. No matter what Crooked Joe says, his actions prove his priority is to import a colossal new illegal alien population and let them all stay. My priority is securing our border and sending Crooked Joe's illegals back home. Likewise, the sight of a feeble Joe Biden talking about shrinkflation, the term he uses, is one of the most ridiculous things this country has ever seen. Shrinkflation is just another way of saying inflation. It means that you're losing a lot of money because these people don't know what they're doing. It was all caused by Crooked Joe Biden and the people that surround him. And they are radical left Marxists and fascists and communists and socialists. We have people running our country, the likes of which we have never seen before. He and the communists and his party looted trillions of dollars from you and spent it on illegal aliens and the Green New Scam, triggering the highest inflation in many, many decades. If your packages are getting smaller, that's the reason why, under my leadership, there was no inflation. We had the greatest economy in the history of the world. It's time to tell Crooked Joe Biden, you're fired.
Ta-da! You knew that was coming, right? His signature line, Donald Trump making it very clear how he feels about where we are right now. Understandably so. Look, ladies and gentlemen, we are not in a good place. I titled the name on this show as State of Disaster, because it really is a disaster that we are in right now. I don't know how anybody could look at what's going on and actually say that this is good stuff. And yet that's what you're going to hear, right? Because Joe Biden, he's living in some kind of la-la land, delusional land where he wants to believe that there is no inflation. He wants to believe that there's totally world peace going on and this border thing's not a big deal. Listen, it's a big deal. And we've learned that 320,000 migrants were flown into various cities across the United States without even the cities getting a heads up on this happening. Yeah, they didn't think it would go over so well. The Center for Immigration Studies revealing all of this. just a massive, massive story. And when Biden and the rest of them try and say, oh, we're doing what we can on immigration, and really and truly, this is the fault of the Republicans, I want to show you this because this is candidate Biden in 2020 in the Democrat debate promising a surge at the border. He wanted this. He literally was calling for this. So don't let him tell you otherwise. Here we go.
We immediately surge to the border. All those people are seeking asylum. They deserve to be heard. That's who we are. We're a nation that says if you want to flee and you're fleeing oppression, you should come. I would, in fact, make sure that we immediately surge to the border. All those people are seeking asylum. They deserve to be heard. That's who we are. We're a nation that says if you want to flee and you're fleeing oppression, you should come. I would, in fact, make sure that we immediately...
So, Joe, you got your wish. They came. I mean, I don't know what the official numbers are, but upwards of 7 million for sure. You heard Donald Trump say a number that's even far higher than that. His worry is that by the time Joe Biden leaves office, that in fact will be the case. And I keep saying to myself, like, why would they do this? What is the practical reason for doing this? And then it hit me, actually, thanks to Elon Musk, credit where credit is due. Elon tweeted out this morning that the way the census is geared and the way they run the Senate census, you get more congressional reps for more population centers. So it would make sense then that they would be putting these illegal undocumented migrants into states where they could then secure more congressional representatives. You see, this is like a new kind of gerrymandering, effectively. If you just pinpoint, okay, we're going to put some people here, we're going to put some people there, even if they can't vote yet, the fact that they're there, they are counted in the census, and therefore that state gains more representation. And so you're able to kind of stack the deck, so to speak, in that way. But it's clearly a problem when you look all over the nation right now, and we've got so many states, even in New York, struggling to deal with this. The governor of New York is now saying, okay, we're going to put all these security checks on subways, and she has to. I mean, that's the sort of like the whole group that was like, oh, we don't want police and we don't want law and order. Now they're like, oh my gosh, we need law and order. So I don't know how Joe Biden, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be able to spin all that. I do have a feeling he'll go back to the well. So you're going to hear a lot of class warfare. You're going to hear a lot of racially tinged things. We heard something pretty pathetic just the other night on MSNBC where they were trying to paint all conservatives as, you know, I don't even want to say these words. I guess, let them, as we wait for Joe Biden here, MSNBC just going after any Republican. So if you dare to be conservative at this point in time, you're at risk. I mean, this was just utterly wild. I want to play this for you because you need to understand effectively where they're really coming from. Outrageous.
Voters don't vote that way. They don't vote based on economics or based on the benefits they're getting economically from the president. They're increasingly, from the Tea Party on, they're voting on race. They're voting on this idea of an invasion of brown people over the border. The idea that they can't get whatever job they want. A black person got it, therefore drive all the blacks out of the colleges, get rid of DEI. That is what they're voting on. They're just voting specifically on racial animus. At this stage, it isn't about economics.
No.
But really, Republican voters don't vote that way. They don't vote based on...
Headline, conservatives care about economics. You know what? Conservatives actually understand economics. Conservatives are often business owners. Conservatives can add and subtract. They're not into this new age math that's supposed to be equitable math. Because with equitable math, guess what? Nobody actually realizes we have a 43 and counting $1 trillion outstanding amount of debt. Right? Like that. Is that the method to the madness? We have equitable math, make everybody feel good about their math classes. Trust me, conservatives care about the economy first and foremost. I think conservatives are some of the most meritocracy-oriented people I know because they all want to make money. You know, this is Donald Trump. Like, I'll tell you one thing. He is a guy who wants to make money. He wants things to work well, which is why I love having somebody that comes from the business world.